right. Hey
Good evening, you
now.
guys.
Happy Wednesday.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, dude.
Up, fellas?
9:05 p.m. March the 2nd. March. We are marching into spring.
Hey, February's a fast month. It's all good.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing good. Halenville on Wednesday night. Once again, we got a special guest tonight. Yes, we do. All
We
right.
have a wonderful guest tonight, you guys.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
talking guitars.
Talk guitar building tonight.
Yeah. Big time.
And I did bring my pencil, gentlemen. Yes, I did.
There you go.
Right on. Yeah, you guys are gonna love this. Um, so Keith in the chat went to Wolfgang last night. Is that right, Keith?
I saw that cool post he made.
Yeah. Saw the picture. Saw that pic.
Yeah.
That pic looked beaten up.
Scored
Score.
big time.
Score.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right on, Keith.
Aren't they in LA tonight, Mammoth? I think they're in LA.
I think so.
I don't know where they're playing, but I know they're somewhere in LA, I think.
Neil sends his best. He couldn't be here. He's going to Slash and Miles.
Oh, that poor baby. Tough life,
Yeah.
man. Tough life.
So,
have fun, Neil. Have fun. Love you, man.
Yeah, we'll see the scoop on that show. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so
what were you gonna say, John?
You want to bring our guest in there? Join us.
Yeah, I tell you what. Let's do a little roll call. Keith Campbell, Polly Walnuts. Hey,
Keith,
dude.
Polly, what's up, bro?
Sandra is out there.
Hey, Sandra.
Keith H.
Keith, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man.
Let's see. Holly Lewis.
Hi,
hey.
Holly.
Tim Thomas.
Tim, what's going on, brother?
Hang on, I'm trying to. Edwin Crane. Thomas Santiago. Right there.
Yeah, what's going on, Thomas?
Let's see. All right, I'm to the top and down. Yeah. Nice to see you guys and welcome. Before we bring in our guest, John, we got some cool trivia later. Giving away some fair warning.
Nice.
81 backstage passes.
That's pretty cool.
The next few
beautiful,
weeks.
dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
If you can, I'm trying to make these harder and harder.
It's a good one tonight.
Seems to not.
He stumped me. I went down in flames, guys.
All right. So, John, you want to introduce our friend?
Sure. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about guitar building and accessories with Kyle Finch from Finch Custom Guitars and from Divebomb Incorporated.com, divebombinc.com. I'm pretty sure that's it. And, a lot of original guitars he builds. It's great stuff. But he also does some great Van Halen accessories for Frankenstein 5150, stuff that anybody that's a builder out there, you might have started to see them on Facebook and pop up, but He's pretty much the only game in town for these particular accessories. And I know I've been looking for quite a long time for some of these things. So Kyle's going to jump on here right now with us and talk about all his stuff that he's got going on at his Finch Custom Guitars and Divebomb. So without further delay here, let's welcome Kyle Finch to the show.
There he is.
Hey, Kyle. Hold on, brother. Hold on, bro.
Hey, Kyle. Welcome, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
Hey, everybody.
So Kyle,
Very cool.
so you kind of shocked all the VH guitar nuts with the great stuff you basically in the last couple of weeks just blew up with. I've seen it all over Facebook and stuff like that, and a lot of chatter back and forth. Everybody talking about this stuff. So basically, you have a set of things now. You have the string retainer bar, which is accurate to the 5150 or the Kramers of that era, and I mean, you could there you go, a little shorter than the regular one, right? And the ends are just straight cuts, right across there.
Yep.
And
Nice.
yeah. So that and we got
that started it right there. That little part right there started the whole thing.
Yeah.
And if I could for a second, can I ask you, what is it just simply because of the era that it is in the build of it that's desirable, or is there any kind of an actual benefit from having that as an upgrade?
Well, I made it actually. I made the first one because I was building a 5150 replica.
I got you.
And I needed an accurate bar.
That's it.
And
okay.
Nobody made it, so I made it and ended up selling a bunch now. But then it evolved from there into the other parts to actually create kind of a retro kit for a 5150. But we'll take it step by step. It started with this.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that retainer bar, that was on the early Kramers. They had something similar to that. Am I correct?
It's very crude. It's got a very slight bend in it.
It's not flat at all, is it? It's not flat. It's just completely round, right?
Completely round. I don't know if you can see that.
Right.
Got to find the camera. There it is. Yeah, it's just round. Squared off ends.
It's actually almost too short, right?
Well, okay, so I was talking with somebody else, and he asked me to make him one, and he wanted it just a hair longer. So I've got one of the original ones with the rounded ends, and it is almost too short. So I actually added not quite a 16th to both sides, but it visibly, unless you get your calipers out,
right?
Visibly, it's gonna look right.
Right, and it's gonna hold the string under it.
And it does, yeah, it does what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So that started it, and then the next thing was you have a Floyd bar, but you came up with a bushing that fits into the current Floyd because there's too big of a hole to do the early 80s, very early Floyd, the whale tail type of bar. And
right.
So you came up with that little, was it, a bushing, I guess, that goes in there? You want to show? You want to explain it?
So I think after, and I'm not a Floyd expert, there's plenty of people probably on here that are, but I think after the whale tail, they started doing the arm with the bushing, so there was a bigger hole in the base plate, almost 3/8. I don't use metric numbers out of my head, so pretty close to 3/8 metric. So to use a screw-in arm like is on 5150, and actually currently on the Frankenstein also, from the Metropolitan Museum pictures, it's got this type of arm on it too. Now, Eddie's arms were always just flopping around, so I don't know that he had anything like that in there. He probably didn't. But for stability, I mean, for playability, you can't put a 1/4 inch rod in a 3/8 hole and do what you want to do. You can't, you'd never get the dive that you want because there's no, it's not going to grip here. So the bushing fills the gap, fills that hole, fills that 3/8 hole, and brings it down to a 1/4. So you can, that little bushing right there. And it presses in, it's kind of tight. Every one of them is going to be a little bit different. So you may have to snap it in with a pair of pliers, or it may press in, but it's going to give you the ability to use this old style on a newer plate.
And you even have the plastic washers on there too.
Yeah, they're nylon washers.
Nylon.
Yeah.
And the bars, but you bent the bar straight to be like Eddie's bars, right?
No, the 5150 bar is bent
Slightly, right?
It's got a decent, I mean, it's this. I've trouble lining up with the camera. There's some pretty good pictures.
It's not that though. That's way more, right?
That's more.
No, that's way more. Yeah, that's a new bar.
That's the current ones that are on like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are a lot more. So this is a lot straighter, but enough of a bend, and you know, we all have to go by pictures because none of us have the real guitars.
Right.
So this is the best match I could do. I have an actual press bender that I don't know if you can see the tool mark.
There you go. Now we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So I bend them. I mean, to get the same angle every single time. There's a tool mark in here too. And I make them out of stainless. So you get kind of I polish them up a little bit, get kind of an aged look, but it's not chrome. And it'll never give out. It'll never rust.
So these are two of the, the things that were not readily available to anybody building 5150s forever, I guess. This is really the first time I've ever seen them like that. And then to finish it off with the third piece right here, the 5150 and the Floyd's, they didn't have brass. Eddie never used brass on the Frankenstein or the 5150. Everybody's crazy about brass, blocks, but they were just steel blocks that he had on there. And I think back then, Schaller and all, I think that's probably what they had. So Kyle also offers like a 42 millimeter, which is pretty much exactly what he had on the 5150, correct?
It's a 42.
42 steel block.
What's the weight difference between a steel and say a brass or a naval brass?
Good question.
I should probably know the answer to that. It's heavy. Yeah. If I dropped it on my foot right now, it'd probably hurt.
Right. So
it's not lightweight like an aluminum alloy in any way, shape, or form. We're talking steel here.
Oh yeah, this is.
I got you.
Yeah, and it's got some weight to it. The 5150 that I just finished. I don't know if I sent John.
Tony, you got any photos of the 5150?
Yeah, that's the kit.
Yeah.
I know you sent me that one of the kit right there. There's the kit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can send.
Maybe this is a better one of that he's talking. If I can get it to stay, we'll try that. See
that. They're all on my phone. I've got some good.
I think I have it right here. It's loading.
Kyle, what?
Yeah.
So what got you into this aspect of these particular parts, and then on to pre-cut bodies, etc.
Well, I guess when I started in 2006, I was freshly out of the service, couldn't find a job that I could tolerate. It's kind of hard to go from something really exciting to, something low speed. So, eventually I just decided I was gonna build a guitar. I went down to a local hardwood lumber place and bought some ash and bought some maple, and I built a guitar. I actually built a Frankenstein, and somebody offered me a little bit of money for it, and it was enough to build two more. Wow. That's the 5150 that I just finished. It's
yeah, that looks absolutely beautiful.
There's a shot, maybe I can show it, of the arm after I swapped out. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That looks great. It looks
that does look good.
Yeah, there it is.
So there's okay, there you go, John.
That's good.
Nice.
And then also on that 5150, I noticed recently that his springs and his block were painted black. So I went ahead and did that. The springs may be noiseless springs. I'm not sure and they come in colors, but the block, I just sprayed it black.
Was anybody else using a steel block in those days?
I think the originals on the FRT1, the Pro Floyd. I thought I brought one up here. I make that too. I've on it. It had a steel block on it, as far as I know. But I think they switched to brass pretty quick and chrome plated them or something. I'm not sure.
So,
like I said, I'm not a Floyd.
That black block that's in there though is a steel block. Is that correct?
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah, I just sprayed it black because I saw some pictures and Eddie's block looked black. So,
do you notice a tone difference between steel and a brass or a copper block?
There's so many different amps and so many different effects now. It's hard to really decide if you're hearing a difference or if it's the way you're playing or
well, I will say this, that I like Floyds. I love Floyds. I've got several guitars with Floyds on them and various blocks on those Floyds, and there's some that just I don't notice a great tone difference either, but I notice that some sort of operate more correctly than others.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely a secret sauce to everything Eddie did, unpacking that and trying to figure out what it is a task.
Sure.
But
it's the fun though, right?
But when you see, I mean, that guitar, he played that guitar longer than he played anything else. It had a steel block on it. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine as far as what the actual tone difference is. But I had the FRT1 that I built, on a Bumblebee with
Mm-hmm.
with a DiMarzio.
That doesn't have the non-fine tuners.
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
you.
I've got one here somewhere. I just don't know where I put it.
I was looking at a picture of, I believe that's a CNC metal machine. Isn't that for actually fabricating your own?
Yes.
That's on your Facebook page?
Yeah, we just started doing that. That's why I'm behind. Um, we,
Excellent.
I was having somebody else do them,
Oh, yeah.
but with the wait time and the
Sure.
expense, it's just I have a lot more control over it, and I could just make them myself.
Sure.
We've got welding, we've got small CNC and big CNC.
I will have to say, Kyle, that the first impression I got of your website and your Facebook page is you guys are attention to detail oriented. You're into
May we
fine art. You're into
bring your
just,
site? May we bring your site up, Char or Kyle?
Of course.
Let's do that, Charles.
Proper specs and things of that nature on aftermarket parts and they're everything. And the difference between a good aftermarket part and a bad one is one works really well and the other doesn't. And cost, you don't necessarily spend more or less, depending on where you're sourcing your material. And
right.
So anyway, I wanted to give you a shout out about that. Your website is awesome. It has an attention to detail that guys like me who don't have all the answers, it guides me into the answer I need, and it gives me the options that you have. It was really good, man. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I've got a couple of questions, some net questions and body questions for the future here.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get this up. Sorry.
So this stuff just really became available within the last 2 weeks. So yeah. So word is kind of spreading fast about all this stuff, and you've been like spending all day producing all these things, right? Cutting all these blocks and everything.
I made 25 blocks yesterday, about the same number of arms, and I was working on retainers today. I've got between Friday when I put that kit out and today, I've got lots of orders.
Yeah. So
I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, if people go on the website,
there it is. It's on. You're showing it right there. The FRT1 is over there on the left that we do, and that's all made in house. We're making the plate, welding the back side of it on. It actually fits into the back, and then it's welded underneath, and then ground smooth. And then the saddles, we make those. I've got a square brooch that we press down through it, and makes the square hole for the string lock. It's a pretty fun process making all of it. I mean, it's tedious, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think
and I like the metal. I like the metal working more than I do the wood now because there's no dust.
Is the material in the string block the same material as the actual saddle, or is it another alternate material like just maybe possibly a harder material or something of that nature?
The saddles, we actually make the saddles out of tool steel, so they're very hard. The base plate and the block are not. The base plate is hardened after it's done, threaded and everything.
Gotcha.
But the block is not. I mean, the block is. We don't treat it with anything. It's just raw steel. We punch some holes in it, thread it, and.
Is that also for the string blocks as well? The little tiny string blocks that sit
those we actually make out of stainless.
Gotcha. Okay. So they don't deteriorate.
They don't deteriorate. Yeah.
I gotcha. That's cool.
And you can polish the top of it a little bit so they get a little shiny.
Nice.
Yeah. That's just like the arm that we make. Stainless. It's it polishes up nice. I mean, you can get it to look like chrome if you want to, but if you don't go that far, it just looks like an old arm.
There you go.
Mm.
So the parts already are sort of inherent to be relic. They relic real nice.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that you're showing right there. So the switch is obviously just a regular 5-way switch, but we age that. Um, the jack is a regular available jack that you get now, but we age it.
Sure.
The neck we make. The pick guard, that we just revised, probably within the last. Well, this Frankie right here got the new revision. Am I on there? Yeah, there we go. This Frankie got the newer pick guard, and it's just a hair taller this way.
Gotcha. It goes into the Floyd a little more.
A little bit more, yeah.
I gotcha.
We really started looking at some pictures and got it in there where it's supposed to be. But I've been making this pick guard since I started.
Wow.
And it's probably the biggest up until now. It's been our best seller.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I swapped out. Actually, I just did this the other day too. I swapped out the arm on this one too.
Yeah, it looks great. So Kyle, did the Frankie at the Met photos help you out and anything, clear up anything for you?
Tremendously, yes.
You got high resolution photos. You got of everything now, right?
Yeah, that's those pictures are invaluable. I mean, it's like that right there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, let's look at that, man. I was admiring that.
Glenn LaFerman took that photo. Was it Glenn?
Yeah, that's the Guitar World '83 US Festival magazine. That's the and I had him print from the original negative, and that was in 2009, and it's mind blowing when you actually get up there and look at it. It's very high res, but now that the Metropolitan pictures are out, it's I mean, there's a lot of information right there, but the Met pictures are fantastic. And I had a lot of people send me, 30 and 40 pictures. So yeah. I've got hundreds and hundreds of pictures.
Yeah. I have to believe when I was there, I took a couple hundred photographs. I think of it the day that I was there, and I'm sure that was the most photographed guitar at the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we stamped you've got the neck plate on there right now. We stamped those, and then the black and white pick guard. This one.
Yeah, and the neck plate is steel too, so it's not any flimsy aluminum like some people make, right?
No, and they're stamped with proper number.
Hey, yeah. Kyle, can I ask you a question about Floyd Rose metal real quick? I just want to make sure I have my facts correct, and it's been a couple of years since I learned this. I bought an LTD one time at Guitar Center about 10 years ago. It was my first Floyd guitar, and it was not real expensive. I think it was under $400. The guitar was, and I loved it as far as playability. The problem is the Floyd would not stay in tune. So I bought a guitar off the rack, one of what was probably 30 to 35 guitars at the time at a Guitar Center, and at that price point, and all of the Floyds I noticed, they were all of them were a black metal, and I started researching, trying to figure out why this. First of all, I got tired of tuning guitar and stopped playing it, and back to a guitar center and asked the tech, and he kind of reluctantly told me this, but he said that particular metal has a high graphite content. And for that reason, and it may not be graphite. That's actually my question. I want to know if the word graphite is correct. And it gives it just a very light and almost an instability to the metal.
Carbon.
Did
he maybe say carbon content?
Carbon. I think it was carbon. I'm so sorry. Not graphite.
Yeah,
it was carbon. Right. And so,
my God, I can't believe he said
that. What that did was it just made me real negative towards Floyd's in general for a couple of years until I actually played a guitar that had a real Floyd.
Well, they're the real one. The made in Germany ones are different than any of the licensed ones.
Yeah. This was a German Floyd that I played. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. When was this? What year?
It's 10 years ago. It's 10 years ago. So 2012.
Yeah. So they've been the plates are cast now. They're not really machined or bent or anything. The whale tail was really, I think, once again, I'm not a Floyd expert, but the whale tail I think was the last bent Floyd.
Okay.
They've been casting them since then.
And is there a noticeable difference in that? I mean, is it more stable, or is it just for production cost?
I think cast steel is probably a little more rigid.
Okay.
Than bent, unless it's tempered, unless they temper it, then it'd be a little harder and it wouldn't bend. But was your Floyd floating or was it on the bottom?
Yeah, it was a full floating Floyd on the LTD that I was talking about. The one that didn't play well that I was always fighting. And, and ironically, the one German Floyd that I played, it was not floating.
Yeah. See, I've got one floater right here, on a Charvel.
Gotcha. Well, the guitar that had the one that I played was a Charvel, but it was blocked. It didn't float fully.
My first guitar was a Charvel.
Gotcha.
So I'm a Charvel. I just love Charvels. Actually, I've got a Wayne Charvel neck that a customer sent me.
Ooh. Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
Look at the figuring on it.
Oh, look at this. That's beautiful, man.
Wow.
So I made a body for it, but I don't have time to finish it.
I saw this on your Facebook.
Yeah.
I told you earlier, I kind of rated your Facebook.
I'll finish it one day.
That's beautiful. I love that matte gray. That's gray, right? Am I seeing that correctly?
No, it's olive drab. It's army green.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes from gray to blue if you spin it with the light, like a sort of a bluish gray.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And then I got
what's that EMG on there?
EMG 81.
Nice.
That's very cool.
Hey, I got a question for you. What is the wood, the black limba? Is that a body wood or a neck wood?
That's a body wood.
A body wood. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that more like a basswood or a poplar, or what is it?
It's like it's like Japanese ash.
Oh, does it come from like Asia? Is it an Asian wood or?
Yeah, there's white limba and black limba, and I think they're both Asian. White limba is what Ibanez used for destroyers, from what I've heard.
The ones that were supposed to be Carina but really weren't. Is that
right? Yeah. Well, I think Carina and white limba
the same basically?
Yeah, they're basically the same from what I've heard. But yeah, I've actually wanted to do a black limba telly body, or telly build actually for a while now.
Yeah. So tellies are a favorite of yours. You were telling me before, and you built quite a few tellies, I guess, over the years, right? I know you had one that sparkle finish one was really cool looking too.
Yeah, and I got this one.
Nice.
That's
It's a
cool.
19
That is so cool, man.
Haha.
It's a 1970 license plate.
Are those bullet holes? Are those
holes in
bullet
it?
holes? Oh,
Nice.
dude,
That
It
is
is
so cool.
Texas.
dude, that is so cool.
That is awesome.
They're actually just rust holes. Well,
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe they are bullet holes. They look kind of round.
Yeah, they do. They're rusty.
hey, we're calling them bullet holes, brother. That's
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
man. That is so cool.
Maybe 50 cal.
What do you finish the body with? Because that's a natural wood body, right?
Yeah, this is roasted swamp ash,
Gotcha.
and I just finished this with oil with
Is that a one-piece body? Is that body one piece? How many pieces?
This is a two-piece. This is a two-piece.
Right down the center. I got you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice and light.
It's gun stock oil though that I put on the body, but I only put one coat on it, so I didn't
Let it breathe, right? Let it
load
breathe.
it down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Whose idea was the license plate?
Well, I've seen some done like this here and there, and I just decided I liked it, so I built
I
that.
like it too.
It's
Keith Campbell in the chat says he needs that guitar, baby.
Yeah.
We all need it, Bo.
It's on my website.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right on.
And you also have the another telly that it's like a sparkle finish.
Yeah, give me 1 second. It's right here.
Oh, you got it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. With the Bigsby on it, right? Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
that's absolutely spectacular, dude. That guitar pops.
It does, doesn't it?
Got a it's mahogany back, and the neck is actually mahogany also.
Wow.
Wow.
Stainless steel frets?
No.
I bet it's heavy.
It's not terribly heavy. No, it's probably 8.5.
And what kind of pickups do they look like? Filtertrons or something? What do you got?
TV Jones. Oh, actually,
TV
I'm
Jones.
missing it. I just realized I'm missing a string.
TV Jones, yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
Those
TV
are
Jones.
Oh, that's so retro looking.
Sweet.
that must sound pretty wild, that guitar.
Yeah, and we actually engraved. You can see that.
The logo in there, yeah. See the logo?
Oh, that's nice.
That is cool.
Yeah, we did the same. It's something similar with this one, but we did some different.
Oh man, I like that.
That's cool.
That's
Wow.
very nice.
And then you had my my favorite one that I mentioned before, the one you said was the ZZ Top one. You got that one handy?
Yeah, yeah, that was the supermodel. So, well, I think I got it here on my phone.
If not, I have it over here. Yeah, and this one you got. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff about this guitar too. Here it is.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Right there,
Well,
there you go. I got it up there right now.
okay. Yeah, so you can see in the neck cavity, that's a Lucky Strike, and then in the wire channel, that is a well, it's part of a Lucky Strike, but it's made to look like a roll your own. So that's a Billy Gibbons replica guitar, and that's a swamp ash body. The body was chambered. So it was very light, and then we also chambered the neck.
Huh?
We chambered the neck on either side of the truss rod channel.
Wow.
And so that guitar it's been gone for so long now. I want to say it was under 6 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super light, and it sounded. That's
I'm
a
curious.
Pearly Gates, Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates.
Oh wow.
In there, and it sounded fantastic.
Oh, I can imagine. I love the way that looks.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that really is.
Nice.
There's the back.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of aging in there that I actually did that with this stuff.
Mold builder.
It's a latex, so you can brush it on there, and it dries into like this rubber. But I'm giving away one of my secrets. Um, you paint once everything's dry. If you let the mold builder dry, and then you paint, you can just brush it off with your hand, and it just peels away.
It looks like
Cool.
like relic.
Yeah, it leaves really jagged edges if you want it, or you can give it smooth edges or whatever. But it's a really nice little secret for just creating paint chips in the paint when you're painting instead of after.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's because the paint can't adhere to that one spot, and so it basically bubbles off in that one area. It's like in your pre-prep.
Well, you're painting over the mold maker,
Gotcha.
and so then when you rub it off, it just,
Very
it
cool.
just peels away.
So you'll pretty much build any type of guitar for anybody, right? You can pretty much do anything, right?
Yeah. I started with I can do anything. I started with a router and a Ryobi bandsaw that I could probably fit in my desk drawer. It was so small. And I used that router and that bandsaw for about 5 years. And I made everything with a router and a bandsaw.
Wow.
And then I bought a pin router because Wayne Charvel used a pin router, overarm pin router. So I bought one of those and used it up until about 4 years ago, and got into a bigger shop, and we had a 4x8 table, or have a 4x8 table with a CNC. So I can put 25 body blanks down and hit go and go to lunch.
Go to lunch, yeah, right. Go to sleep, right?
Wow.
That's good. Yeah. So over the last few years, you've definitely expanded the operation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I started in right out of the service. We lived in Cypress on the northwest end of Houston, and I started in the garage with 2 cars in the garage, and then moved to Clear Lake, and we had a 2-car garage, and I took over the whole thing. And
how did your wife feel about that? Just out of curiosity.
well, she wanted to park her car in the garage. It just wouldn't fit.
You got to pick your battles, buddy. It's all good.
I offered to put all my tools on wheels so I could move them out of the way. That pin router weighs about 2,000 pounds though. So, and then now we've got, I do some work here, and then in Rocheron, that's where we have the big CNC in the shop. And then just recently, another small shop in Manville, where we do welding. We've got a big press for bending, stuff like that. So we're kind of broken up. There's several of us, and I go there, and then sometimes I bring stuff here, and just wherever I need to be and wherever they need to be. That's where we've expanded to.
That's awesome. What is there anything on the horizon that you're getting ready to start building that you can share with us? Any new little thing?
Well, it's on my website, and somebody actually called me and asked me today. I put a little notice on the top of the page earlier in the year. I was wanting to shut down Divebomb and just go to Finch guitars,
I read
and
that. It's at the top of the page. Yes.
yeah, and then I got a pushback.
Did you?
Well, with all these parts, I don't want Finch custom guitars to sell parts.
Sure.
I want that to be guitars completely built by us, and not Van Halen stuff. It's all, our headstock for our tellies is not a telly headstock. It's got a different end.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You blunted the beak on it. That's cool.
Yeah.
It actually looks really
Yeah,
sharp.
it does. It looks
Yeah,
really cool.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
That's cool. I like that.
It
It even looks better when it's reversed. I like that headstock when it's reversed even better.
I agree, Chuck. I agree. I think it looks really cool. Like a left-handed one on a right-handed guitar. I 100%. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's on the Billy Gibbons supermodel. It's that headstock
That's
reversed.
Awesome. That's
Very
awesome.
Cool. Very cool.
So that's kind of something on the horizon, but then I got reinvigorated when I did this.
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be.
So Kyle, you're you're making a lot of the parts that all of us have replica builds, and a lot of us watching, and you make a lot of the parts that go on these. What got you into that part of it? Was it necessity, or did people come to you say, make me one of these like you made yourself? Or
Well, when I saw when Fender EVH put out the Bumblebee, and they had the FRT1 on there, I've of course seen, like we all have, the non-fine tuner Floyd's, the production model, for years and years. But when that came out and I saw that and it was rusty, and it spoke to me and said, you need to make me. So I made one, and I've still got that very first one. That's the one I thought I brought up here. But that the FRT1 replica that I made that's on our site is that got me into the metal side of this, really. Now I made some sustain blocks. I made some brass blocks years and years ago.
Hey, Kyle, I got a question for you, and this is kind of a little off topic a little bit. When you were talking about the non-fine tuner Floyd, and I'm thinking about the nut, and I'm thinking about locking tuners, and I'm thinking about how Eddie, tried to keep the strings level coming off the nut, 3-in-1 oil. Let me see that one more time, please.
Yeah, somebody's asking for it in the comments over here.
Yeah. So are you okay? I got you. And so you're using locking? Are those locking tuners by any chance, or
on here? No, I'm not a real fan of the locking tuner.
Hey, I half agree with you there too. If they're good stable tuners, hey, I've got a Strat. The tuner's on it are 30-something years old. I wouldn't even think of putting locking tuners on it because it stays on tune. I have no problem with it.
I think when I set out to build something, I go back in time when I'm building something. I don't like new. I like some new stuff, but as far as guitars and stuff, I really, I go back in time. I like just plain, nothing special. The fine tuners or the locking tuners.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never had a set ever.
Mm-hmm.
I've never put any on anything. Ever.
Interesting. That's interesting. Now, I was going to play the devil's advocate for a second and ask you, if I was to play that guitar and I was doing a lot of bending, would putting a set of locking tuners possibly be something, if I was going to really push those tuners to the limit, would that be?
What guitar?
The one you just showed.
No, if the nut is made properly, you should be able to.
You should be able to, right? because that would be the binding at the nut is the big deal.
The nut is the secret. Yeah.
Let me ask you another question, if I may. How about roller nuts? I don't see them much anymore. They were a thing back in the 90s, I believe. I played a couple of guitars that had them. One was a Les Paul. It was nice. But what I noticed was that it doesn't have quite the ring and the tone that comes out of the guitar solid because it's not fixed at the nut and at the bridge.
Less moving parts is always better.
Gotcha.
I actually make my own truss rods too. I make a single rod truss rod that I use. I don't use a double action truss rod. It's just more moving parts. It's more weight.
Well, if the fretwork and everything is done correctly on the guitar, you don't need a double action truss rod. You just need one that puts it correct.
Yeah.
Now, another question. You were talking about the weight relief in the neck for the Billy Gibbons guitar. Were those two channels that you cut? That you didn't just widen the channel that did you cut two separate channels that had nothing to do with where the truss rod actually laid?
Yes. So there was a channel for the truss rod.
Yes.
And then there was meat on either side.
Gotcha.
Probably, if I recall, maybe
3/8 of an inch,
a little less than 3/8, somewhere around 3/8.
Okay.
And then a channel that kind of contoured a little bit. It was a lot of work. We had to go in and then step up and step up and step up to get to follow the profile of the back of the neck.
Compound radius of the neck, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we used a round. Actually, the deepest cut was done with a flat end, and then coming out, we did that with a round nose.
Gotcha.
And kind of curved it out.
Very cool.
But they are separate channels. There's a truss rod channel and then two separate channels on either side. And they didn't have a carbon fiber rod or anything in those like some people do now.
Wow, that's fascinating to me. Thank you.
And I don't know if it was necessarily a weight relief.
Well, how much weight in wood would that actually be? What, 2 ounces, 3 ounces, maybe?
Probably.
Like that?
I think it was it's the way that supermodel that was made for Billy Gibbons was done. So it was a tone thing. I'm not sure what their goal was. But when I was asked to build that one, they told me to spec it out just the same way. So,
well, when I think of a neck on a guitar, and the thought of actually removing all that wood off that neck, I would be just totally afraid that it was going to change the heart of the tone of the actual guitar. I mean, it's just, it seems to me that's the one thing I wouldn't want to mess with, I
talk to the customer every once in a while and they're super happy. And I built that guitar. Let me see. I can tell you exactly. I've got files for everything, every guitar I've ever built. I may actually have a picture of the chambered neck, how we did it.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, right.
But I didn't take a picture of that.
And because it's on either side of the truss rod, you can't go as deep because the radius of the back of the neck is going to, it's got more relief on the
outside. It was. I mean, our deepest, it was probably
quarter inch,
maybe between 1/4 and 3/8 somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
It was not super deep, and like I said, I still don't really know the. Well, there's actually. No, I can't show that on here. I got too many computers. I had the body template that we used to chamber the body, but that was that. We did that in 2008. That's how old that was, and he still loves the guitar.
Excellent.
Yeah, it must sound incredibly like that with the body chamber in the neck.
Well, and that Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates, it very versatile. You could play anything on it.
Interesting. It's interesting. I'm noticing, especially in the last 6 months. I know it's not a new thing. I'm probably paying attention to it a little more. If you've got a good solid bridge and you've got a good solid nut, and it doesn't really seem, and a good pickup, it doesn't really seem that the material configurations are really, at least for the kind of guitar we're playing, really all that important. As long as you can tune and intonate the guitar properly and it's stable and it rings out beautifully, that's sort of seems to be the battle.
Yeah. I think, I mean, if you go to Eddie, his sound was in his hands.
That is the truth.
How often do you vary your woods?
What's that?
How often do you vary your woods? The type of wood you use?
Vary it. I thought you said bury it. It's like I'm 53. I try to bury it as often as I can. Well, it depends on what it is. I mean, if you're making a Frankie body for somebody, it's going to be northern or swamp. 5150 bodies are the common thing for those now is swamp. But I use basswood and poplar and alder and mahogany. Let's see. Yeah, I mean,
are there just some woods that, unless it's a special order, let's say I called you up and said, hey, I want a 5150. I want it to be a mahogany body with a mahogany neck, maple fretboard. And if someone was to call you up and say, I wanted that, are there some specific woods that you wouldn't want to necessarily put paint on because the wood is just not that kind of wood? I guess my question is, are there some woods that are better to just be painted for guitars than others that are made to just leave natural, and other than just the beautiful aspect of a nice piece of wood,
I think if you prep the wood, you can paint anything. Now, whether you want to or not, is another thing. But
I guess I was going to ask, have you ever had a Strat body that was so beautiful that you said, I just can't paint this thing. I've got to leave it natural. It's just.
Well, I've got a Telly body.
See, John, I knew it, man. I knew it.
That I brought home. It's a Telly, yeah.
Mine's been sanded down to bear nothing.
So this. I got this blank. It's a one-piece blank, and it's swamp ash. But when I got it to build a Telly to paint. But when I got it,
Oh, look at that.
It's spalted.
Oh, see, it would be wrong to paint that. It would just be wrong.
Exactly. So
yeah.
It's actually got some really beautiful grain. It's spalted swamp ash. So.
So nice.
There's a good bit right there.
Wow.
That is such character. Beautiful.
So yes.
Nice.
Sometimes something, and then they just get set off to the side somewhere until someday when I can finish it. I've actually got. I should have sent John. Here, I'll show you all my new Telly headstock. I haven't really shown anybody this yet because I haven't made the first one successfully.
Well, when you do, you got to send us a picture so we can put it up on the show.
Oh, I will. You're gonna love this though, and I could be using it right now if I had one finished. But you'll get that comment in just a second. I know the suspense is killing you.
It's killing me. It is.
So there we go. Oh wait, no, okay, here we go. All right, so
Oh wow, look at that.
okay, so it's still my headstock, but that little swoosh at the bottom outside of the blank
Uh-huh.
is steel, and it fits up in there, and
No way.
You've got a bottle opener headstock.
it's a
That
bottle
is-
opener headstock.
That is
Wow.
sick.
John, Tony, I have to have one. I don't know about you,
that
but
is-
I'm gonna have one of those.
Dude,
I've
that's
never
cool.
seen one before.
That's cool.
I
Never.
searched and searched and
I've
searched,
never
and
seen
I
one.
didn't see one anywhere, and I was like, I'm doing that.
That's
So I've got the steel. I need to take it over because I'm going to have somebody water jet that for me. Yeah, so that'll be the new Telly headstock for us.
That's awesome.
that's
Right
gonna
on.
be killer.
I gotta
man.
say DB Telly. I don't want to say Telly. We call
All right.
ours the DB Telly.
Hey, question. When you get done routing out a neck, you've CNC'd the neck, you have it, it's in its finished stage. I know enough about the CNC that it actually does a real beautiful job as far as the shaping that you've calculated it to do. It's spot on. I saw on your Facebook you were kind of doing a joke about the $5 round file, doing some finished work on the inside of a head, right up at the nut, on the headstock of a neck. And how much finished work do you have to do to a neck after it comes out of a CNC? It's got to be considerably less, I would imagine, than the old school 2 tools in the garage thing you were doing in the beginning.
Well, people might finish it to an extreme to where you don't have very much work left to do, but I finish every neck that I finish with my hands. I feel them. I use that round file. That was one of my original tools. I think that post says it's got thousands of miles on it.
I thought that was one of the coolest things on your Facebook page. That caught my eye, and I said, "Yeah, that's it." Another question: do you notice any give or take in the? Is the CNC machine just the name of it all, or is there anything to be said for the old school method of shaping a neck by hand?
I think any luthier that's gonna say he built something.
Yeah.
You can rough something out on a CNC.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, well, first off, if you don't have the skills to do it without the CNC, you're just a hobbyist.
Yeah. Sure.
If you, you can finish it completely, but you got to be able to pick up the hand tools and finish it and get it.
Maintain the specs and not go beyond those boundaries.
Yeah, because when I cut a neck, and I've just recently programmed the profile. I still radius on my sander. I've got an attachment for my sander that I can set the radius, compound, or whatever. But I just started doing the profile, the back of the neck, recently. And it's
that was the next question.
It's fantastic because it takes away a lot of the meat.
Yes.
Depending
on the profile. Some profiles take a lot more, don't they?
Some do. So, and I don't have all of them programmed. I have one that gets enough off for me to get anything I want out of it.
Gotcha.
But for different necks, like I have one for a 5150. I have one for, a Frankie. But everybody, a lot of people, when they order something, they want it a little thicker. They want it a little thinner.
Sure.
So I've everything that is programmed, it's programmed with a little extra.
That right there, what you're talking about, what we were talking about right here, is the benefit of going to a guy like you to get what they want. That right there, it's a specific niche, and also was
Well, I've
getting,
got customers. I've got customers that have been buying from me since I started, and they've replaced all of their necks on their Fender guitars, their whatever they have, with something that I've made for them. Anytime they get a new guitar, I've got one customer. Anytime he buys a new guitar, he calls me up, tells me what he wants. He doesn't even tell me. I already know what he wants. He just tells me what it's going on.
I got you. Let me
And
ask you another question. Are I saw you did the Bones guitar, George Lynch Bone guitar, and by the way, absolutely spectacular. What I saw, that work is stellar work, Kyle. Question about that. The Kamikaze has I believe it's an R3 nut, and it's got a specific, the E string. Well, if you're in standard tuning, the E string, the high and low E, are very close to the edge of it, wanting to fall off the frets on that guitar. Have you ever made Kamikaze cop?
I have not. I've talked about it with a couple of people, but it's never progressed into a job.
Well, the reason I'm asking is, personally, I was talking with my son Daniel, and we've both I've had the opportunity to play a Kamikaze one time, a real Kamikaze. I was with my son, and we both loved it. We absolutely loved it. And now that I'm talking with you, I'm going to do another guitar build sometime, and it may not be in 6 months from now, it may be 8 months from now. But when I do that, that's kind of where I'm going to want to go with it. And it's just nice to know that I can talk to someone who understands what I'm talking about. So
definitely call me up.
Very good. Very good.
Right on. Kyle, you do have a market too. By offering a lot of the parts that we all need on our builds. Do you have a market for that? I see pre-cut Frankies and um,
Yeah, we do the Frankie body, a 5150 body, a Bumblebee,
I'm gonna pull
Strats,
that up.
Tellys, Charvels. Um, I don't always have them on the website, especially now because a lot of
Yeah, I
there's a lot
saw
of
you.
people.
Yeah, that Music Man, like an Ernie Ball type, that shape, type of body too. I saw you did something with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I had a
yeah.
picture. What was that wood? That was insane looking.
That was the top of that. Is that one that I sent you?
Right there. See it?
Yeah, that is
Whoa.
spalted bird's eye maple.
Whoa.
Spalted bird's eye maple. Look at that.
Yeah, that's just the cap. So I think, if I recall correctly, I think it's a basswood body.
Now that cap's got to be pretty thick. Is it a flat top, or am I looking at an arch top? That's a flat
No,
top, isn't it?
it's a flat top.
Okay.
That was a flat top with it's a 1/4 inch thick,
I got you.
and I think it has binding on it as well.
That is absolutely spectacular.
That was a while back too. That's in the Wayback Machine.
Do you have
actually a customer bought that as just like that. He put his hardware and pickups and finished it.
And Kyle and John and Tony, I got to say this, if you've got a guitar that's properly built and spec'd correctly, and you've got all the hardware ordered for it, and you've got, just some basic, you don't have to have major luthier skills to assemble a guitar that's made to assemble that's correct.
No.
Maybe a little help setting it up and intonating it. But that's part of the learning curve of doing what we do. And
right.
Gotta just tackle that. If you're going to play guitars, learn to, and don't let a Floyd scare you. Got they're not that intimidating. They're really not.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the biggest problem with Floyd's is if they won't stay in tune. I mean,
Well,
that's the biggest problem.
the trick on a floating Floyd is to tune sharp on your low E, and then tune less sharp on your A, tune a little less on your D sharp, but bring it down all the way to your high E, and then you should be able, and then lock it in. You should be able to fine tune it after that.
Gotcha. The biggest problem I have using a non-locking Floyd is our floating Floyd is just I palm mute, and I'm constantly throwing the guitar sharp because I'm resting my palm, butt of my heel, my palm down on the top of the. It's actually usually the low E tuner, the fine tuner. It'll bump into it, and it's.
So think about, okay, so that right there, those are basswood. There's 2 of them. And I made those for Adam Reaver, from FU Tone.
Love Adam. Love
a
FU Tone.
long time ago. And I think that he gave those to Michael Wilton from Queensland.
Really? Wow.
I think, if I recall correctly. But yeah, I made 2 of them. I probably wasn't finished with the neck or something, and that's why that picture is like that. But I made 2 of them for him, and I'm pretty sure he told me that they were for Michael Wilton.
That is so cool.
Nice.
But he could verify that or not. What was I at? Oh, well, I was okay.
Wow.
Okay, so that guitar right there, I call that the PJ Pro because it was a guy named Paul Johnson that bought it. That was the second guitar that I ever built.
Dude, that's absolutely sharp, man.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
It is one piece from the from one end to the other down the center. The neck. That maple that you see there is all one piece.
Wow.
And then that's
whoa, really?
And then that is, I believe that was walnut or rosewood, and then alder. So and that was the
wings on the outside are alder. The wings that are
the outsides are alder, but all down through the middle is now that is a. I think I glued the fretboard on. That was in 2006.
Wow. Do you have a material that you prefer to use for frets?
Standard frets. I've never. I mean, I use stainless when somebody asks for them.
Yeah. I personally don't really have a major preference for stainless steel. No. I like a nickel brass composition of good quality. That's quite hard. And, you know, if the fret is denser and of a more, let's just call it a harder composition of metal than the strings anyway, you're not going to wear them out, you know?
No.
You're not going to wear them out as fast, you know?
Yeah. So that telly you just showed, that Seafoam, John, that was the first telly I built. And I built that for myself. But I had a customer coming to pick up another guitar that I built for him, and he saw that one and bought it.
Black pickguard pops, man.
Made me an offer I couldn't refuse. That's a tortoise shell on that Seafoam. The pickguard is tortoise shell.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Wow. That's custom. That's very unique.
That's just kind of a backwards Frank.
Getting a reverse headstock, not a problem?
Not a problem at all.
I love those reverse telly headstocks. I know you do too, Charles.
Well, I absolutely love the reverse telly headstock, but talking about the reverse banana headstock, I was the next guitar Neil builds me. is going to be a 5150, and I believe I'm going to do a little changing to it. I'm going to put a reverse headstock, banana headstock on it, I believe. I'm like 85% convinced that's what I want to do at this point. And unless somebody talks me out of it, Tony, John, that's probably what we're going to do. So
John, that's a one-piece mahogany body, a maple neck, and a zebra wood fretboard.
Wow,
that's gorgeous.
Zebra wood. That's more dense than like oak. That stuff, right?
Yeah, but
I tried to cut a piece of that stuff. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can't really see it in the picture though, but the grain is just beautiful.
Yeah, that's why I made like a light fixture out of it. I couldn't believe how cool it looked.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one I sent you that's really one of my favorites, and I sent it to the customer to finish also. It was kind of a Charvel, and it's the color is grabber orange. It's a like a Mustang, Ford Mustang color, and then it had that's it right there.
Just that's unique, man.
Beautiful bird's eye, beautiful bird's eye neck on it.
Look at that bird's eye.
That is just spectacular.
That color though,
wow.
And he put a Charvel brass bridge on that, and it turned out to be just a gorgeous guitar.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like that.
I like that color a lot.
That's a really sharp color.
Yeah, I like the color.
That's cool.
Oh, Keith Campbell called that Grapenstein. That's funny. That's what I call that purple Frankie.
Awesome. Ooh.
Yeah, those are blocks that we were making yesterday.
Our blocks.
Or actually, yesterday or the day before.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Kyle, you thread the bar. You put the threads on everything on those bars.
Yeah, I figured out a way. I was actually we were doing that on a lathe, but I figured out a way to actually chuck up the bar into the spindle and put the die in the vise and run the bar down into the die.
Wow.
Like it was a bit, basically.
Just like a drill bit.
Just like a drill bit. And
gotcha.
I mean, I go forward and back it back out and use a lot of lubricant. But yeah, I go about a 1/4 inch and then back up a little bit and clean it out and work pretty well.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
It saved a lot of time from doing that on the lathe with that setup.
Right. Let's see what else we got here.
Okay, so that we lasered John Wayne. That is alder, and then the neck, that inlay on the neck is walnut in maple. And I've got one other thing that I've done like that, and right here. I don't know how close I can get that, but you can see how I actually cut that walnut with a laser. And then I cut the neck also with a laser, and there's literally no gap in between the walnut and the bird's eye. I did this one a long time ago. Wow. And that's how we did that. That's how we did the Johnny Cat. Now there's a guy here in Texas. He's in Austin. His name's John Evans. And he he plays that Johnny Cat. We built that for him. That actually I traded that for my Metro Amps Plexi 100-watt Plexi.
Oh, that was a good trade, huh?
I know. Well, I traded that and a Carina destroyer with a walnut no ebony top. So I traded 2 guitars.
Yeah, well, that still sounds pretty fair for that.
Yeah. So that actually was one of the best sounding guitars I ever built.
Okay.
That's a basswood Charvel star body that we made, and that's actually a Dan Electro neck.
It's a real Dan Electro neck.
Yeah. And then that's a Rockinger tremolo on there, an all brass.
That is so beautiful, man.
That guitar sounded unbelievable. And I think that's a Hot Rails, if I remember what we put in that. I can't see it. The
Dan Electro neck, is that from a specific model of Dan Electro?
Look like something.
Because all of the Dan Electros I ever played, they all had the same neck. I don't, I think I played, might have been a 12-string once. Obviously the neck was different, but for the most part, all of the Dan Electros, at least and this was back in the 80s, they all had the same neck.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really looked. That's Dodge Viper Blue. John.
Yeah.
Dodge Viper Blue.
Look at that bird's eye right on that neck.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, that's the neck that I just showed you.
Oh, it is.
I took that neck back off of that guitar and used a different neck on it when I finished that build.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's this neck.
Did you show it? Did you grab it? Yeah, you got it again. Can you show it again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There you go. Yeah, look at that. Wow, look at that. It's beautiful.
Jeez, man, that's beautiful. And
that's just oil too. No.
What brand of tuners were those again?
These on this are actually black crown head Gotos. They're not screwed in the back, but I was actually thinking about having somebody strip them for me. Just because I have them, and you can't get the chrome ones without spending $300.
Yeah. Metal costs. Good metal costs.
Hey Kyle, have you had any problem getting wood with all this pandemic crap?
I did. I found a great swamp ash supplier.
Oh, really?
And it's fantastic swamp too. It's super light, beautiful stuff. When I place an order now for neck blanks, it takes me about a month. I think we're coming out of the shortage on wood. Swamp ash was really scarce. I don't know if you know, but I think Fender's stopped
using it.
Using swamp, and I think is it K&E? They stopped using swamp.
Yeah.
Somebody else stopped using swamp ash because first off, it skyrocketed in price, but it was just hard to find. There was something happened where they harvest that and it didn't produce any swamp that was worth anything for about 2 years. So we felt the shortage of that, after it hit the market after that. But I've got a pretty good source. He's far away, but I've got a good source.
So, is it just ash, or is it just swamp ash, or is it all ash for Fender?
I think it's just swamp.
Yeah,
it may be both, but
yeah, I think it is. I think it is both.
Yeah.
They're removing ash from the majority of their regular production models.
Yeah.
So they're going to use. Well, it says while alder remains to be the most popular hardwood for fender bodies, the American giant's ties to ash cannot be understated. It was pretty much all they used for guitars and basses between 1950 and 56, and continues to sell successfully to this day. So I don't think it says here what they're using, but I remember seeing the name of it. It was like some kind of wood that I really wasn't familiar with, the stuff that they kind of switched to. I don't, it's just like the table in my dining room. It's made from some weird Vietnamese kind of,
Yeah.
mango wood or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like rosewood now is podal or powdal or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's weird.
Instead of rosewood. Keith
Wait a
Campbell.
minute. I want a mango wood 5150. That would be cool, bro.
Keith Campbell asked if that was a single piece neck. No, that is a two-piece neck.
I guess it's some kind of beetle that's eating the swamp ash too, or something like that. I don't know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it sounds like something.
Is there a cap on the amount of wood that you can actually purchase in, I don't know, a given year? Or do you have any restrictions on that at all? Or
Not that I've.
I imagine when your guy calls you up and says, "Hey, I've got a shipment of new wood." First of all, I know that gets you excited because you get to go there and check out all that lumber for the guitars you're going to build.
Oh, the jokes I can make now.
But at the same time, I guess the question I'm asking is when you buy, wood for this in bulk, what kind of weight are you talking? Do you buy like a, I mean, does it come on a tractor trailer? Do you buy it in a kind of bulk, or do you just kind of 3 months ahead? Or I guess that's just all about production and what you're actually needing to move. Because I imagine if you had somebody said, "Hey, I need so many guitar," have you ever been approached by a major builder, to ask you to do production guitars for anything like maybe a Guitar Center or anything like that?
Well, I don't know.
Because the minute you have your when you were working with two tools in a garage,
it was so long ago.
But now you're world class, knocking it out of the park with all this machinery, able to produce mass quantity.
Yeah.
Now you're popular in a different way.
The only time I've done a mass build for a business was I did the first run that Adam Reaver did with Boogie Bodies when he started Boogie Bodies up.
That's where I heard your name. That's where I've heard your name before, Kyle.
Yeah, I did that. I did all his entire first run
of Boogie Bodies.
I can't even remember what all we did. I think we did some three single like Strat bodies, but Boogie Body.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did I think we did some single pickup like Charvel Model 1s. And one other one, maybe some Tellys. I've probably got a file.
Sure.
I know I have a file. And I don't know if he ever even wanted me to say that, but it was so long ago now. So let's see. What did we do? And we actually, I think we made 50 of each for him. And stamped them for him and everything. Let's see here.
Did you make his of that new line a couple of years ago? Is that yours?
No, I don't think so.
What I did for him was probably back in 2009 or 10 when he first.
I was going to say 2012, but yeah, you're
right. It may have been whenever he started Boogie Bodies up again. I think the pictures that he's got on his website are still my bodies that I did for him. Let's see. I know I kept pictures. Oh,
Kyle,
sorry.
while you're looking for that picture, Tony, you want to do the trivia question?
I can.
All right.
Are they gonna get it? I don't think
I don't
they're
know.
gonna
I
get
got
it.
stumped. I went down in flames, you guys.
I think somebody might get it.
I don't think they're gonna get it, man. I can do that. All right. That's our cue. You know what that means?
Yep.
Oh, heck. It's on now. That's trivia music. All right.
Hey, John, I just dropped something in there for you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't get it yet.
It's in Messenger. Oh, wait, I have to hit send. Hold on.
All right.
I'm putting a couple more in here.
Okay.
You can show it and I'll highlight you, John. I'm gonna run this question.
Okay.
It's kind of a hard one. But so we are giving away fair warning backstage passes from 81.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, crap.
that's beautiful, dude.
I'm gonna change you guys. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. If you can, I'm gonna run this. If you can help there with John. All right. Good luck. If you're the winner, there's an email address, trivia winners email down below in the description. Email me your name and address. And when these passes arrive, and it's a few, and we'll be giving a bunch of them away, when they arrive in a day or two, I'm hoping they'd be here by tonight, but weren't, I'll mail you one out. So good luck on this Van Halen Trivia for March 2nd, 2022. Are we ready? All right. Here we go.
All right. Do the trivia, and then we'll go back to this.
All right. During the first Van Halen tour in 1978, who was the headliner at their highest attended show? That's number in attendance. Who was the headliner at the biggest show in 78? And good luck.
They're coming in. They're coming in hard. Great guesses.
I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them. No hints.
Gretch Zeppelin. That's hilarious.
Nice.
Autograph.
Let me show. Yeah, thank you, Sandra.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Ding, 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 ding.
Where's
ding.
it at?
Yeah.
Christopher Live Sour.
Yeah, there you go. What a
Yeah.
rocker, dude. Jeez,
Go,
Christopher.
Chris.
Right there, bro. My goodness.
You did it, bro. All right.
I said Sabbath right off the bat.
All right, so let's get into this answer. Chris, if you can cut that music off, I'm in another. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra, right on.
Right on, Sandra.
All right. So, the headliner at the biggest show was the Stones at the Superdome, but they played a few big shows. Aerosmith a few times, Down the Green and Texas Jam.
Hey, Tony, little shout out to everybody wants some in the chat. And I see Dan of New Jersey as well.
Hey, fellas.
So what was the correct answer? Did I miss it? It was AC/DC?
It was the Rolling
The
Stones.
Stones.
It was the Stones.
Yeah. 80,173 at the Superdome.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's down here close to us.
Yeah. Christopher Live Sour wins a fair warning pass. Dude, I'll mail that out as soon as they arrive. And we'll be giving one away next week and the week after.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
different
are cool.
colors for
Tony,
different
Tony,
ones.
can you put it up on the screen again?
Put what up? The answer?
The pass, the picture of it. You got the one, right?
This is a yellow version.
Pretty cool.
That's great.
That's very cool.
July 21st, 1981.
Nice.
And they're all unpeeled.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
So they, maybe orange, maybe blue, or But yeah, Christopher Live Sour.
Yeah, what a rocker, dude. What a rocker.
He gets one.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm not making these things hard enough, apparently.
He's got a tough bunch right here, you guys.
So these are the bodies that Kyle was talking about before.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the only mass.
The boogie body we're
Mass
talking about here?
And this is ash.
Those were all northern ash, yes.
Gotcha.
Nice heavy northern ash.
Yeah.
This is the neck.
I love that
Yeah, we did.
headstock.
I don't know if he's doing that or not.
Now, is that the same as the one you were the bottle opener? Is that sort of the same, or that's even a little more? Or is it all about the metal added to it?
I guess there's some similarities, but yeah, the metal. I mean, you can't. The bottle opener would chip away the wood, so the steel is.
And I guess it has to be a definite fit for a bottle in there too. So I'm sure it's not exactly the same.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
cool piece of wood there.
That's just beautiful. I wouldn't want to cover that piece of wood.
Yeah, that's another one right there that I wouldn't want to paint.
Wouldn't do it.
There's the project, new project bottle.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice, man.
Wow.
So
I hope to have one of those done in sometime this month.
Yeah, that'll be cool. We definitely got to see that.
This body needs one. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got to definitely send us a picture of that when it's done.
Definitely.
You got to test it out too. You just keep drinking beers and popping it, you know.
Yeah, I'm out. I might need to run downstairs and grab another one.
We got to do a quality control test on it. I don't know how many beers you consider quality control, but I would say at least 75 or 80 to make sure that it's good. So
at least.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So
Well,
Kyle,
it should last forever. Steel's not gonna wear out.
It's awesome, man. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that
you
is.
have you have parts, Kyle, for every phase of a build. Um, so if I wanted to venture down that road and do it myself, I could buy everything I wanted from you. Is that right? If I wanted to
Yeah,
make,
we're a Floyd Rose dealer, um, Schaller dealer, Seymour Duncan dealer. So, those specialty items you can get through us. Bodies, necks, um, pick guards. Uh, I mean, we're about to add this to our 5150
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's sharp.
parts.
One stop shopping.
That's
yeah,
what. Yeah.
I mean, it basically is. I mean, you buy the neck here and you buy the body there, you know.
Or you buy.
Well, when somebody buys a body and a neck from us, we make them together.
I was going to
Um,
ask you that. I was going to ask you about that because mismatching necks to bodies is
yeah,
well, I'm talking to you guys. There's a finite point where one works with the other
yeah,
perfectly. And if you can't intonate, it's not worth even,
yeah.
doing it. So,
I mean, there are standards that everybody should be hitting, so they should fit. But like I said, when somebody orders a body and a neck, we make them fit each other perfectly. I mean, we use the same standard all the time, but when we're sending something out together, uh, they're made for each other.
mhm, mhm. Ordering a body. Let's say I was wanted to order a Beretta body, and I wanted to have the volume knob placed slightly further away than it normally is. No problem. Not a big deal.
Well, normally I don't even drill the volume knobs.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
and I advise most people that are building a guitar, especially something that's going to have stripes on it,
Mm.
stripe it first, and then use those stripes to associate, terrain associate where you want that volume knob, so you can get it in the
Gotcha.
right place.
Gotcha.
I mean,
That's a good point.
it's six one way, half a dozen the other. You can put the volume knob there where it's supposed to be, and then use it for your striping. But
Mhm.
I've always found it easier to just stripe the guitar
Mhm.
and then drill for the volume.
Gotcha.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Definitely a good point.
Sounds like your volume knob is slightly in the way, Charles.
I already on the Frankie that me and Tony bought matching Frankies, Kyle, and I've already moved my volume knob one hole away. I have a big hand, and it gets in the way. And
Huh.
I'm just gonna say it like this: if Eddie had my guitar and he had a dysfunctional thing where his little finger was hitting that damn volume knob, he would move it away because functionality is first and foremost. So, in the spirit of Eddie Van Halen, I moved my volume knob slightly further away
Yeah,
just for
well,
functionality.
it's
Thank
It's
you
optional.
not.
very much. There you are.
Right,
There you are.
exactly. Totally optional.
There you go, brother.
You got choices. That's
That's
what
right.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, and actually to gripe just slightly. Okay, so where his knob is right now, I'm one hole away. And what it does is it moves it back further towards the Floyd slightly as well. So when I'm reaching down to, for instance, on Somebody Get Me a Doctor and I'm doing the volume swell just before the solo, I have to kind of reach back slightly, and the trim bar bumps the back of my hand. So the guitar is still slightly dysfunctional. However, I've learned to adjust to it, and it's my favorite darn guitar. So,
That looks
yeah,
great.
yeah. Hey, functionality's everything, guys. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, you're right.
Right on.
Look at that. That looks great.
That's absolutely beautiful.
That is so cool. That's heavy, right? That's got to be regular Northern ash, right?
No, this is swamp. This
Swamp.
guitar weighs 8 pounds exactly.
Oh, that's a good weight.
The Fender replicas weighed anywhere from 8 pounds to maybe 8.5.
Right.
And I had one for about 9 or 10 months years ago, and I didn't get too much as far as shape from it, but I got some details like pickup cavity depths.
Well, the neck that I got from you back in 2011, that was exactly like off of the Fender. I mean, you had to respect. It was exactly like I had played one after that, and I had that guitar with that neck, and I'm like, it was identical pretty much to the one I played today, except the one that you made was nicer. It was bird's eye. It was beautiful.
Well, the Fenders were so raggedy, you know, they were, I mean, they were great and everything, but you know, I tried to put a little bit of refinement in there to where it's playable and feels good, and
yeah.
But yeah, I've always got good reviews on especially the Frankie neck.
Yeah.
I got a lot of 150 necks going out now, and everybody's real happy with those too.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Tony, you want to throw up one more time Kyle's website there?
Yeah. Let's scroll back. Oh, Sandra. All right. If you can type that in.
So he's got you have finchcustomguitars.com and you have Divebomb also. Divebomb.
Yeah, and I think I have Finch. I think I have the website up.
Yeah, it's down to. It's in the show description.
Yeah, I've got Finch. There's actually a website. I haven't really done a lot with it yet, but finchcustomguitars.com is up too.
But everybody for the Van Halen stuff, the bar and the retainer bars and the Floyd, the Floyd bar with the bushing in it and the blocks. Yeah, that's all. You go to Divebomb for that. Oh, and I don't know if we mentioned earlier. So you could buy the whole kit, or you could buy the individual pieces too, right, Kyle? They don't if they don't want the whole kit.
Yeah, I've got individual pieces on there too.
Yeah, so you can buy them all individually if you want to. But I got my order in, Kyle. You got that the other night, right?
I saw it.
There you go.
Very nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I mean, thanks for coming on, Kyle. We appreciate it. It's awesome. We have people that make the guitars. Like Neil makes, he makes the replicas himself. But it's cool to have somebody who actually makes the bodies for people that make the replicas, and makes especially these
very
accessories and parts that a lot of people have been looking for years. And now all of a sudden, boom, you have them all in your one site. So it's great for everybody who has one, who built one a few years ago, even who wants to update it and make it more accurate. Now they just hit your website and get the stuff there, and it's cool. It's cool seeing the photos of how you make them actually too, how you machine them. So, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle.
It's not imported from China. It's literally made in Texas. So it's kind of cool.
I hope to hear from Neil soon for a body and a neck order.
Yeah,
for one of the next builds.
Yeah.
Nice.
Neil is at Slash and Miles tonight.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
He's got his priorities straight. He really does.
Yeah. All right. Before we wrap things up, speaking of Neil's links are in the description. He couldn't be here. You'll possibly see him next week. Big announcement for next week's show. guys, before we take off, hold on to your hats. Um, yeah.
Yeah, we got some good ones coming up,
Or
Tony.
should we wait? Should we wait, Charles? No, we'll tell them. All right. So, yeah, so Neil's links are always in the description of these shows. Um, and if you dig the cigar box style, our friend Brendan B. Squared makes these handsome things.
They're so
And
custom.
Yeah.
his
Absolutely
links
cool.
are in the description. Yeah, man. And that one on the left there is that.
Hey, just out of curiosity, since we're
Thank you,
talking about
Brendan.
Brendan, you guys, when is his jump? We've got
Um,
another week, right?
March the 12th.
Okay, okay, about 10 days, 9 days from now. I still
Yeah.
want. I've been procrastinating. I haven't donated to it yet, but I got to do that. The link will be down
Um,
below, right?
yes,
Excellent,
we'll be going
excellent,
live that
excellent.
day about 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's
Cool.
going to be a
Very
lot of
cool.
fun. Yeah, so his links are always down below.
I can't wait to see Brendan get frosty, man. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. What,
that's
you
going
gotta
to be
explain
fun.
what's happening. What jump?
He's doing a polar bear style jump into icy water. It's for Alzheimer's, correct?
Yeah, it's called
Oh,
Sub-Zero Heroes.
oh wow.
Yeah, and
Thought he was gonna jump out of an airplane.
no, him and his wife do it every year, and this is the 12th year,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's something they're very passionate about.
they
Very, very
couldn't do it
passionate.
last year because of everything, but yeah, so they're gonna jump in his local lake as they do each year and raise money for the Alzheimer's Association. Um,
That's great.
That water's
yeah,
cold, man. That's cold
yes,
water.
yeah.
So my wife, real quick on that, something like that. My wife, well, she just put in a resignation letter. She's been the Southeast Texas ambassador for Ainsley's Angels, and we run in 5 and 10K and half marathons and push disabled
Mhm.
in chairs
Oh
in these
wow.
races.
Oh, that's
Very
cool.
cool.
And we've
Very
been doing that. She's been the ambassador for about 5 years, but
Wow.
got a 14-year-old daughter that's starting high school next year. So we're that's going to take a lot of time. She's very active in a lot of things, and so we're trying to free up time. So she's, but that's been a very rewarding thing, kind of like the Alzheimer's jump. That's probably not as painful though, but
Yeah, but still though, right on, man. Absolutely.
Hey, if somebody asks me, hey, you can either jump in the water with Brendan or run a marathon, guys, I'm taking the plunge. I'm taking the
Mm.
plunge.
I would do it. I've been in some cold water.
Yeah, I bet you have, right? Exactly.
Um, and one last thing for those of us with tattoos, ink the original or ink the original. Essential tattoo care, high grade formulas with organic ingredients. They hydrate and protect. They also are environment and reef safe, and they are awesome. Whole line. If you got tattoos, take care of them. This is the way to go.
This is the way.
Ink, the original. Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
It's
Kyle,
my
Bent Tom and Analog Kid got. Oh, hey, that's nice ink, brother.
There
Nice
you
ink.
go.
Texas
Bent Tom,
finisher.
Analog Kid. Have we heard any updates on another one? Love those guys.
They are still recovering.
Wow.
Um, and both are in contact, but yeah, we're
Cool.
still wishing them well.
Hey, love you
sending
guys.
good vibes.
Love you guys. You hear
Yeah.
this?
You know.
Feel better.
Yeah. Let's find. I keep shuffling stuff. There it is.
Yeah, very cool.
Um, so wishing you guys a speedy recovery. Speedy, right, Sandra?
Mike's mic is off. My mic is on. Yes, very speedy recovery. It is not the same. It don't even feel the same without Tommy and CK here. So please get better super fast. We love you super hard. Please,
Yeah.
please come back to us soon.
Yes. So while you're here, Sandra, we have and I loaded it while we were on because I forgot earlier. Um, so
Hydrate.
next week on the show,
Oh yeah.
we're going to go ahead and put it out there.
Okay.
We have not one guest, but two guests on the show. Yeah. Are you ready for this? This might need a drum roll. All right.
Oh, get out of here.
There you
Here
go.
it is.
Get
Holy crap.
Get
That's awesome.
No way.
That is flipping
Way.
awesome.
Way.
That is
We got him.
wow. Wow.
That's gonna be a good one.
So I said we had two guests, right?
Right.
With Brian Young, we have the great Simon Hosford.
Yeah.
Is going to come and spend
Killer.
some time
Killer.
with us.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah, he is.
Kyle,
Very
you familiar
cool.
with Simon?
Very
With Simon
cool.
at all?
What, John?
I was asking Kyle if he was familiar with Simon at all.
I am not.
I'm going to send you some video links.
Okay.
He's the real deal. He's great, and
Yes.
the nicest guy you ever want to meet.
He
Too.
brings
Yes,
it, man. He
absolutely
brings it
wonderful.
large.
He's a demon guitar slayer.
The
Hell yeah.
real
Was that him on the
Yeah.
screenshot a minute ago?
No, that's Brian Young from David Lee Roth's band
Right.
back in 2002 era, around that time.
Okay. Oh,
Do we-
yeah.
Yeah, he's a great player too. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Right.
I don't
Simon
playing a
and
Wayne
Brian
Corbett
know
guitar.
each other.
Yeah,
Nice. So that'll be a lot of fun.
it's gonna
Make
be
sure,
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
make sure you're subscribed. Ring that bell so you don't miss that ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I am excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
That will be a good one.
Who we got Saturday? T-Cake.
Saturday is Show Me Your Pick Day,
Yeah.
and Saturday we're gonna show you a bunch of pics and talk about meatloaf. How about meatloaf?
Yeah, rest in peace, Meatloaf, man.
I love meatloaf.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Saturday is all about meatloaf. This Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern. Every Saturday, show me your pick.
Right here.
Some
this
really
channel.
cool show me your pick episodes coming.
We do.
Hold on to your.
All right.
Nice.
Well, Kyle, thank you again.
Yes.
Kyle, you
Yeah.
rock. Thank you so much,
Absolutely,
man.
Kyle.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
so
appreciate
much.
being able to be here. Let me know when I can come back.
Definitely, we will.
Anytime.
Very
Anytime.
cool, dude. Very cool.
And we want to be the first to see that the headstock with the bottle opener on there.
Well, I'll let you know when I have it, John, and I'll show it here first.
Absolutely
Dude,
awesome.
badass.
Awesome. Can't wait
Oh,
for that.
I'm a grandfather too.
Oh,
Oh, congrats, brother.
Right on.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
beautiful, man.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Congrats, bro. Super cool.
Congratulations, dude.
That's awesome.
So cool.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for letting me be here.
Are
Glad
you
to
going to be
be able to
making
talk to you
miniature
guys.
guitars now?
Yeah, I'll talk to you. And you know, everybody check out Kyle's site. And if you're a 5150 replica person, you got to check this stuff out. It's cool. It's about time we finally are able to get these parts, you know.
And
That's right.
the
That's
arm goes
right.
on Frankie too.
Arm goes on the Frankie too. That's right, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the Frankie replicas. Yeah, you're gonna want that for that too. So it's
Yeah.
not just 5150. You
Yeah.
know? There you go. There it
Boom.
is.
There it is.
Very cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, Sandra.
Oh, he's done. Okay. All right.
All right.
I want to say congratulations to Christopher Sawa.
Yeah, Christopher, what a rocker.
Yeah,
What a rocker.
he did it. So I'm obviously not making the questions hard. So, all right.
Just got to dig deeper, Tony. What can we say, man?
Listen, the
It's
only
fine.
answer that wasn't thrown up there was the Beatles. So I mean, somebody was bound to
If,
get it.
if nobody wins next week, it's on you.
Hey, it was a really good question. And it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. There were a lot of guesses coming
Now
in.
we pissed him off. Now next week's gonna
No,
be
if
the hardest
nobody
ever.
wins, nobody wins
Nobody's
next
winning
week,
next
and it
week.
carries on.
Yep.
All right. But I am going to make them harder, though.
There you
Good.
go. Take
Kyle,
care, chat.
thanks
Be
again.
well, you guys. Love you.
All right.
Everybody,
Yeah, thank you
Charles
all.
Green, John, Sandra, have a great week. We'll see you again next Wednesday for Brian Young and Simon Hosford right here.
Too
I'll
cool.
tune in as a guest.
Too cool, man. Thank you, Kyle.
Yep.
You rock,
Thank
brother.
you. Yes.
Thanks.
Thank
All
you, Charlie.
right.
Thanks, everybody that tuned in. We appreciate you.
Have a great week, everybody. Any last words, Charles Green?
Just don't forget, you guys, it doesn't matter here in Halenville whether you go north, south, east, or west. Every single road leads straight to Van Halen. Be well. Have a good week. Do something nice for somebody this week. Hey, it's the beginning of March. Be well and rock on.